I'm Chef Jasper, and today we're in the kitchen making an old-fashioned salad, but I have an expert with me today, and of course, 'tis the season, my friend, so welcome. You know, I talk a lot about fresh produce all the time, and you are the man, Jonah Galen from Hen House Market, who, actually, Jonah, you know everything about produce. I have to come to you all the time.
It's a learning experience. Thank you, Jay, for having us here. It's a great experience.
Well, Jonah, you know, I love cherries, and I always think, you know, I can't get cherries in the wintertime. I had no idea until a couple of years ago that you had cherries available at the grocery store.
Just because cherries are not grown here domestically in the winter, it doesn't mean it's not summer somewhere else.
I didn't think about that.
So what we do is we go to the southern hemisphere, Chile to be precise.
Really?
And then we source our cherries from there. Now,
So they're not driven up by a truckload this time?
No, it's definitely not a truckload. Well, it'll be a truckload from the port
Sure.
to our warehouse and from the warehouse to the stores. But we actually, in order to have the best tasting cherries, you have to fly them.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah, so we call actually jet fresh is the correct term for it because they're delivering jets. What we do is it lets the fruit sit in the tree longer so it can have those cool hours, so it can have the sugars and the taste and the eating experience, then flown and to your table.
Hold that thought about the sweetness of the cherries because I want to talk about that. In the meantime, I'm making the famous Waldorf salad. Come on, this is what our grandmothers used to prepare. But we changed it a little bit. You know, this salad dates back to almost 1896 with a famous gentleman named Oscar from the Waldorf Hotel in New York City. And he made it for a big charity ball and everything that he had available. But of course, Jasper, I had to change things around a little bit. I'm using some local bread from Farm to Market Bakery. I added a little bit of gorgonzola, and instead of just plain mayonnaise, I'm making a mayonnaise dressing with, of course, a little bit of my own salad dressing. This is a Tuscan dressing that I absolutely love. It's got a little honey, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and some fresh herbs. I shake it well. I'm going to add this to it. So, you know, with the combination of oil and balsamic, along with the mayonnaise, and you think it's going to separate, but look, it all comes together in just seconds. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Just like when you're making an aioli sauce or something like that with lemon juice and olive oil, same thing. Here we are. Our dressing is now made. And of course, we have to add all these delicious ingredients. First of all, I have this local bread. So you can either tear it to pieces, you can cut them. All I did was just toast this earlier. I love bread and salad. It reminds me sometimes of the summertime. I know it's a little cooler right now, but that's okay. And then here's my big secret. And it's not really a secret anymore because you have the recipe now right in front of you. I add some gorgonzola cheese with the cherries. I added cherries to the Waldorf salad. So let's start off with the original ingredient, the apples, and some grapes, some nuts, and onions. But we need to talk about, you know, these delicious cherries because I didn't realize the history of cherries. I didn't realize that there are over 7,000 cherries off of one cherry tree. Come on.
Yeah, there's a lot. Actually, there's more than to a cherry tree. There's 7,000 on average after the thinning process. We want to make sure that we have continuity every year and an eating experience out of that tree. So there's a thinning process on it to balance the nutrients in the tree.
Really, I had no idea. Well, I didn't realize in Asia, China, and Japan, of course, the cherry around the New Year, and our New Year is very special in America. But I didn't realize about the cherry, how it's almost like sacred. And you may only get 1 or 2 cherries, all you're going to eat.
It's very special. Actually, most of the imports out of the South American hemisphere goes to Asia during that New Year's time frame. But we have managed to work with the growers and develop the relationship so we can get it here.
Really? Okay, look at this. Put this dressing right on top of the bread, but I have another little secret, okay? We're going to toss that. We just want to coat it. Look at this. Now, look at these apples in here. Your favorite apple?
For this,
Yeah.
I would have to go either with a local apple, with a local Jonathan, or a Granny Smith so we can balance the flavor.
Oh, sure, and great color also.
Yep.
You like it? I'm kind of crazy about apples. It has to be crisp as can be.
The Granny. Granny
Yeah.
Smith.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Absolutely.
But you could still use some of the other ones. The Honeycrisp are good.
Honeycrisp is also really good.
Oh, yeah. Look at the color in this. Now, you can add some fresh herbs, if you'd like to. Some people like a little bit of dill in this. Maybe a little sweet tarragon. That's up to you also. So be creative. Maybe a touch of salt. That's also nice. But I like to make this ahead of time and kind of let the bread sit a little bit, and the bread kind of soaks up everything. Now, we're talking about cherries, of course, and I like the sweet cherry. We talked about sweet and tart cherries. I mean, during the summertime, of course, everybody looks for that real sweet cherry. I love all varieties of cherries. What would you suggest here? I mean, the Bing cherry, the Rainier cherry, what comes in this time of year?
Actually, we can actually get Rainier cherries.
Really?
And for an extra pop of color, instead of the red, yellow and red.
There you go. That's nice and seasonal, something like that. Now, we talk a lot about cherries and the different sweet or tart, but I look for a big cherry. I want all that meat on there. I had no idea about the stone or the pit, we say, in the cherry. Does it really matter?
Yes, it does. Actually, the larger the cherries, the more meat you're actually going to get out of the fruit. The pit is the same whether it's a small cherry or a big cherry.
Really? So you want a big variety cherry. You want something that's really heavy.
Because you're actually paying for the meat. You're not
No
paying for the
kidding.
pit. Yep.
Well, I know, unlike George Washington, you never cut a cherry tree down. I don't think he did either,
No.
But you know a lot about cherries. And, during the summertime, we talked about chasing fruit. Do you still do that in the wintertime?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're going as far as Chile to get these cherries, and I mean, as far as Tasmania to get cherries too. So we literally chase where's the best quality, the optimal growing conditions, the right growers with the best practices so we can get the right product.
And you told me one time you'll turn away a whole truckload of cherries if they're not a certain, what is that, a refractor? What do you use, a certain meter or something?
So we want to measure the sugar.
Okay.
So what makes the difference between a good cherry and a bad cherry? It's really the sugar levels on it. How many hours on the tree, how many chill hours on the tree, how many heat units did they receive while growing up. So we work with the grower during the season. We keep an eye on color, consistency, development of the fruit. Before they get picked, we get samples on how much sugar do they contain. They get picked, harvest, processed to make sure that we have the sanitation standards. Then we test them again to see the sugar levels.
Really?
Upon arrival, they get tested again, and upon arrival at the warehouse, before going out to your stores and going out to your table, it gets tested once again.
Wow, you don't play games when it comes to cherries. Now, grapes, I mean, I use the red grapes. I like red grapes. Does it matter, red grape, white grape, cotton candy grape when they're available?
It really depends on your taste. I mean, if you want color, we're going with red cherries, maybe do a green apple, maybe do a cotton candy grape. So it's all fun on the salad. It's really,
Sure.
it's really an entertainment for the taste buds.
And we talk about nuts, of course. Even pistachios would be good in here.
I think pistachios will be great. I like pecans.
Really, yeah, especially this time of year. Now, I don't know if you saw, I put a little bit of gorgonzola cheese in there. Come on, I had to. Gorgonzola, a little bit of bread, of course, different types of grapes, different types of cherries, and my own salad dressing. I had to kick it up a notch. Maybe we'll call this, Waldorf Salad 2.0. How about that?
That's outstanding.
Well, this is something I would be proud to serve my family. Jonah, thanks for coming on. I know Hen House Market, you work very closely with not only everyone at the stores, but with the consumer to bring them some of the finest produce in Kansas City.
We try, we always will.
Well, this is something
you.
I would be proud to serve my family and yours, of course.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to all.
Happy holidays.
Brought to you by Hen House Markets.